The Institute were one of the most interesting factions in Fallout 4. They may have not been your favorite faction, that's understandable, and you may have not even sided with them, but you can't really deny that they mix things up. They are quite distinct from every other faction, both in their appearance and in the experiences you have with them, and you do have a pretty distinctive connection with them. Well, in today's video, I actually want to show you a few mods that are going to help you to improve the Institute, whether this be with you siding with the Institute, some of them do require that, or maybe you just think they're a cool faction and want to spice them up a little bit. If you guys do enjoy the content, I encourage you to leave a like or a comment. That helps boost the video's rankings in YouTube. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. So the first mod I do want to show you is going to be the new Institute Director's Quarters added in by the Faction Housing Overhaul. That's a series of larger mods, basically overhauling, as you could probably guess, the faction housing that is available through certain quests and experiences in Fallout 4. The original Director's Quarters was fairly basic. It was very simple and it didn't feel like a massive reward for the quests and challenges you did have in order to get it. If you guys don't know, the Director's Quarters is what you get for completing the story with the Institute, and you get it towards the end of the game with some of those final quests. Well, this overhaul is really going to change things up. It adds in a lot of content, a lot of new things and knickknacks here and there, making it look like you actually live there, but not cluttered. This one is much more tame than a lot of Eleanor's other mods. It still looks very classy and clean, going with that Institute style, but at the same time, it doesn't look abandoned or like no one is actually sleeping there. It's really cool, and if you're choosing to side with the Institute, I would definitely download this because it makes that reward just more rewarding. Then we do have the InstitutePowerArmor. This is actually one that did appear in the concept art. It's not going to be integrated into the game in a super cool way. You're just going to find it on a roof, but the power armor itself actually looks pretty cool. For whatever reason, Bethesda decided the Institute didn't need its own set of power armor, unlike almost every other faction in the game. A lot of the other ones only got paint jobs, but still, the Institute is something super notable. They are recreating a lot of things, and power armor seems like it would be on that list. Well, again, this mod is going to be based off some of the concept art, so for that reason, it is immensely lore friendly, and if you do side with the Institute, but do want to use power armor also, this is going to be a great mod to download. It looks very Institute, has a really cool aesthetic to it. It is very similar to a lot of your other power armors. Again, there's no crazy cool features added in with this one, but it still is a very big aesthetic difference, and I feel like this one looks a lot more robotic, which definitely fits the theme of the Institute. Maybe you don't like power armor. I'm not personally a huge fan of it unless I need to be using it for whatever reason. Well, as an alternative, we also do have a heavy Institute armor, that being Corpus Praesidium. This is a really cool mod, and it's actually going to be integrated into the level list. You'll start finding pieces of this on certain high-level Institute members, but even beyond that, there's certain ones you could only get after going to a certain location or buying it from a certain person. The armor itself is really cool, and as I did kind of mention, there's a few different variants having different legendary effects that really spice it up and make them distinctively different. I feel like this is something that should have been in the vanilla game. Higher up synths look very similar to some of the basic synths, even though there are huge challenge differences between them. A synth leader does not really compare to a standard synth that can be taken down with like 1 or 2 shots. Well, now this armor is going to even better represent that and actually give you a good reward for taking some of them down or siding with them. Then we do have C.A.S.T. This is a really cool mod that's going to overhaul all of the armors that do appear on some of those lower level synths. There is a ton of variety in this mod. There's actually 70 new armor sets, 77 helmets, 42 uniforms, and 2 synth weapons. Again, these are largely going to be texture differences. It's not really adding in as many new items, but the texture differences are really notable, as you could probably tell by the video. One other really cool thing is lower level synths are going to have damaged armor, while higher level and more legendary synths will have pristine armor. It's another thing that's really going to kind of create classes in between the synths. You're going to instantly be able to differentiate between someone that's a tough enemy and someone that's a simpler or more forgettable enemy. This is one of the few mods out there that's actually going to change the level list of the regular synths that you do encounter every day, and for that reason I really like it. It's a great way to change up the game, spice them up, and make them look way more memorable. Then outside of armor mods, we actually have Workshop Synth Production. This is a cool mod that's basically going to allow you to produce your own synths for a cost. Maybe you decide to side with the Institute, but also want to build up a ton of settlements around the map, maybe kind of siding with the Minutemen to a certain degree also. Well, this mod's going to allow you to really populate these settlements very quickly. The cool part is it's totally compatible with a lot of the other settlement mods out there, most notably sim settlements. You are basically creating synths to populate your settlements, or you could even use them as followers if you're using an unlimited follower mod, as well as there's actually a cloning procedure, so you could take real world NPCs and create them within this also. Everything is animated, looking really cool, and it actually is quite expensive to get this started, as well as you actually have to get to the Institute and find the schematics to build this somewhere within that. And one thing I gotta say about this mod, it is pretty well balanced. It's not free to create these synths, it's not overpowered in that sense, and it feels like it has appropriate challenges and rewards after getting it. In a similar vein to the previous mod, then we do have settlement teleporters. This is another really cool one that does have some challenges associated with it, and it has a cost, but after downloading this, you'll actually be able to teleport in between settlements and call for reinforcements at those settlements. The teleporter aspect is pretty simple. You're going to need a certain amount of power and then set up 2 teleporters at corresponding settlements and then connect them to each other. After connecting them, you can go through the teleporter and you will pop out at the other side. This is going to be great for survival, and it's actually fairly expensive, so for that reason it's quite nice. You can't just be plopping these down anywhere unless you're really far into the late game, so you're still going to have to travel from point A to point B a lot of the time. Even beyond that, you actually can call for reinforcements from varying factions through this. They'll basically come through this teleporter and help you as your settlement is getting attacked. That's another really cool feature, and I feel like this is another one that is pretty well balanced and makes it a lot more fun than just something that's super overpowered. Then we do have the Courser Crusher. This is actually going to change the synth coursers to make them way more challenging in Fallout 4. Coursers are meant to be the notable foe that comes after you in the most dire of situations. It's going to change a few things about their AI, making them a little bit more difficult, but most notably adding in a new weapon for them to use, that being the V3N rifle. This is going to shoot different projectiles that have different effects. It's basically a little syringer rifle that is fully automatic, and you could slow down enemies, poison them, things like that. The big effect of this is it actually makes the coursers way more notable. You're going to remember your interactions with them, whether it be with them on your side helping you or against them, because they are way more of a challenge and way more usable in combat when taking on different enemies. So last but not least, we have what is the newest and probably one of the best mods on this list. That's going to be the Cross-Courser Strigidae. This is going to be another one that is overhauling the coursers, adding in new armors for them to use, but this armor is not like the others. This is a really crazy armor, adding in a ton of new armor pieces, as you can see, with a ton of customization options. But even beyond that, it just looks cool. The visor has a ton of custom effects you can add to it. You could track different enemies' weapons, as well as a bunch of other things that really stand out and actually differentiate this from other armor types. And just that glowing effect, everything about it really makes it cool, interesting, and it looks futuristic. It feels very synth without actually being made from the base game. I imagine a lot of you guys already have this downloaded because it is a major new release, but if you haven't already, I would definitely download this mod. The armor is awesome, as well as has a ton of cool features, and it really does spice up the synths being integrated into the Courser leveled list. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. I kind of wanted to overview a lot of the different Institute mods out there that can spice them up as a faction and just make them more viable or a harder enemy. And yeah, it's pretty much going to wrap it up. As always, I thank you again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.